That was kind of funny,
That was
actually.
really, really funny. Really, really, really funny.
We are officially live. Now we're officially live.
Now we're officially live. Live we are. Hello, hello. My eyes are red as can be. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Just the way it is. I'm in create mode all day long, um, working on some projects that, I love to get on the computer and do my digital, my digital art, my magic. So I do tend to puff on my weed a little more than normal. So that's the state you find me in. But
So
hey,
it's not 420-ish, it is.
it's been 420 for some hours now. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, hi, every witch. How are you? I know that you are out there. I can see some of the numbers climbing here. So make sure you say hello when you get here, so that we can say hi back. And you know, I suppose that um, I suppose I should keep some Visine next to me or something.
Oh, now you're being all worried about the red eye?
Yeah, I do. I worry about it because
You
I
can
know
say
that,
it's because you've been up all night and all
but
day.
they know that isn't it.
Oh,
They
they
know
know you
me.
haven't
They
been up.
know me well enough.
They
Well,
know
no,
you haven't been up all night.
no, they might know that I've spent a long night, and I did stay up late last night. I have been doing that somewhat, but I'm still getting a decent amount of sleep. But sometimes I flip my days and nights a little bit. That is sort of a pattern for me here and there. But when I get into my creative mode where I know that there's not a lot going on here at the old church, so there's not a lot of stops and starts. Today, my only obligation, besides the daily messages that kind of roll in about this and that, my only obligation was 420 tarot. So I've been on my computer, just you know, doing my kind of magic on there. And Graham and I have been working on our root and read class. So it's been a really creative day. And I'm glad you're all here. I'm going to go through and say hi to some of the folks I saw come through the door here. Brandon says, "Is it Wednesday? Hiya, peeps." Yep. Yes, it is. It is Grimm's newly appointed Wild Card Wednesday.
We don't know what it means yet.
We don't know what that means yet, but you're here for the very second Wild Card Wednesday. And so, hello, Christy Reed. Hello, Carla Core. Hello, Cloudy. Good to see you, Cloudy. Hello, Jane Husky. Hello, Shelly Brood. Says hello. Much love. I have a day off, so I'm here listening to you. Hi, Claudia. We love you so much. We're so glad that you are here. She says, I look so elven, Queen Gussie.
Just before we went live, Gussie was goosing up her hair a little bit, tweaking on her hat, and I'm downstairs grabbing something, and she says out loud, "My ears look like elf ears." And I had to laugh and go, "You just now noticed that?"
It's just sometimes, sometimes my own Fey energy catches me off guard. It really
Oh,
does. Sometimes, you know, because you're used to looking in the mirror and brushing your teeth and looking at the bags under your eyes and trying to figure out, how do I make this look presentable? But, but once in a while, you know, once in a
your
while,
inner fae.
something will catch my eye and I'll go, oh. So thank you.
Susan says, "Can I place a bet on Wild Card Wednesday?"
Can I place a bet? Oh my gosh. Um, well, yes, it's a big Fey connection. And Cloudy, that's why you and I originally met. Because it's like my Fadar, uh, I just coined that, I think. My Fadar went off when I saw you online. It was like, oh my goddess, I need to meet this person because I knew right away, didn't I, Graham? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
this person is tribe. And we've even invited Cloudy to travel with us, but it's just not worked out yet. But um, they have, and we've had this dream about having a traveling caravan, like a medicine show, essentially, um, that we can take from town to town, but just hasn't come to fruition yet. But big dreams, big dreams. And yes, my Fadar went off the minute I saw you, Cloudy, and so I love you so much. We know we're on each other's family tree. We just know it. We have a feeling completely. But hello, hello to you, and hello, Michelle Kleckler Caps. I always love saying your name. I don't know why, but whenever Grim asks a question, I don't just say Michelle. It's Michelle Kleckler
Mm-hmm.
Caps.
Fedor, copyrighted by Gussy 3/20/24.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Susan. I do. I really, truly do. Um, and yeah, Susan, hi, my love. Love you. All of you here. If you know somebody that might want to join us, please tag them in the post. I was so delighted on Monday, one of my former students joined us from, I used to be a school teacher. My first year teaching was 1988, and I taught high school. That's all I'm going to say. But I met Roger there. He was a student, and but he was also more than that. Like, you can just tell when you meet someone that you felt like you've known forever. And it was not a romantic thing, at least not on my part. I was a school teacher, but I'm glad we've stayed in touch all these years because that was a while ago.
Isn't it kind of sad you have to throw that qualifier in today's society?
Yeah, it is. It is. But there are a lot of teachers that kind of cross boundaries nowadays, and well, there's a lot of people crossing boundaries, aren't there?
Yeah.
So, oh, hello, hello. We got some more folks, Grimmer. We've got Cheryl Vandenberg and Bianca Iverson, and Feather is here. Feathered up. We're so glad you're here. I think, Brandon, I think that Emily is at work. I think that she has to work, but Amy is here, and we all need to give Amy a little hug or a big hug. Send her some energy. They just lost their dear, sweet, beloved Denver, which was a familiar, and so we send hugs with wings to you, Feather. We really do. And it's an interesting thing. That little bird has been on my mind now ever since you texted me in the morning, and I thought how pivotal that little bird right there was to my life because I would never have met you. I would have never met your mother. At least I don't think so, because I believe that was the reason that she reached out to me for a reading, was to try to locate Denver, or at least finding them safely. And that blossomed into, a beautiful friendship. And hell, you're a dup. You're a dup because your mom's a dup. And you're a dup because you're a dup because you're just awesome. And we're so glad that you're part of our journey. But that sweet little bird has been on my mind, and I know it's not easy. So all of you,
I
I know that some folks have recently lost their own beloveds. Let's take a minute. No, how about a couple of seconds? Let's try for 20 and just think about that. Send those folks that need it some extra love and energy right now. And remember your own familiars here in the now and crossed over as well. I invite you to this liminal space.
so many animals in our lives become something more than just a passing pet or a disposable farm animal. We identify with the creatures in our lives in a way that is much more spiritual than others of a more mundane nature would or could understand. In our lives, we come across some animals that weave their ways into our hearts in such a way that we can't distinguish between the energy of a child and the energy of that animal.
Sometimes it even transcends that child
It does.
level.
It
Like
does.
it goes so much deeper, and you know that you've been with this soul, you know, not just not just a twin soul or twin flame like in a human capacity, but somehow some of our beloved animals are woven into that expression.
I've said so many times, and I think this really applies to all animals outside of human beings for whatever reason. But animals are the closest connection to the divine that you can possibly get. They are, on a whole, a living representation of what the divine really stands for.
Trying to live in harmony in spite of humanity's
Yeah.
efforts. Those in the animal kingdom, without our interference, if you will, would function in a very balanced manner. It's designed to do that. And, we kind of throw the equation off,
Yeah.
don't we, Grymm?
We do tend to throw the equation off. But Gussie and I, for whatever reason, over the last several days, animal energy has been really flying high around the old church. Folks that have been coming to visit, we're finding some aspect of animal being important in their lives for whatever reason. In our online world, animals are starting to become a topic of conversation with greater frequency.
Again,
Again,
it kind of has come in waves, but it
yes.
feels like this guild has some kaput. It
To
has
it.
some, yeah, I was going to say kaputs, but that's not the right.
Yeah.
It's got some zhuzh.
You have some zhuzh.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
some movement there, and it's really remarkable because it's so coinciding with here at the old church. We want to build into the lay of the land. We want to
The
build
gardens.
a memorial garden for animals, and that's that's just really important to us. We're going to be hosting one of our, we do this every once in a while here, well, actually on the Purple Door, but we do it live. We do a blessing of the animals. I think we've done two or three prior. It's something that we love to do. All you need to really do is bring your beloved pet's name either here or crossed over, and we'll have a section where you can write either or. Not that it matters, we just call them anyways, but uh, we do a little bit extra.
We put some ritual into the
Yeah,
blessing of those names.
yeah. So honoring the ones that have already crossed and are waiting for us. So, and I mean,
You know,
our Tegan interacts with us quite
oh yeah,
frequently.
oh yeah. You know, we don't have a topic for today. It's as the crow flies is what we put. No, it's Wild Card Wednesday. So, um, for whatever reason, we got onto the topic of pets and that energy and whatnot. And blessing of the animals, we've done that online a few times, and it's been something that we've really enjoyed. But the concept of doing a one in person, I still have to wrap my head around how that would work.
Yeah, you know, part of me is like, wouldn't it be cool if we could invite folks who have friendly critters that
Mm-hmm.
interact well with other critters? But then again, I don't want to be like feeling like the ark inside the chapel. Not that that many people would turn out, but I just don't want there to be any issue. So
And
maybe they
horses are
bring
friendly.
so may I'm not talking like that, but maybe they bring a picture or a representation
Yeah,
of that animal, and that's what we bless. That might be, and maybe we ask our online folks to also do the same, a candle and an
yeah.
object or a picture. I think we've done pictures in the
Yeah, we've done
past.
pictures in the past. We
And
made a
then,
video that was part of a ritual.
so um, that could be cool. We could even have folks send in their picture ahead of time. Wouldn't that be kind of nifty?
Yeah,
I think we're going to use this deck today, the Dark Mansion Tarot.
the
If
Dark
that's a
Mansion Tarot. So, what does Wild Card Wednesday mean, and does it have anything to do with the topic that we've just brought up? Spirit animal energy, the connection to our creatures.
well, I think in the very nature of the word wild implies that we're kind of playing by instinct here.
Okay.
We're not doing a but we always do that, right? So what's the difference?
I don't know.
Well, you're the one that came up with Wild Card Wednesday,
You
sir.
know, I just thought it sounded cool, and I don't know.
Well, what about on Wednesday? We know that we draw a card for the group, right?
Hmm.
And then maybe we draw an extra card for an extra read.
Well, we haven't done a hashtag day
We have not done a hashtag day.
in a minute, really.
Okay, well, let's do that then.
Okay, so Wild Card Wednesday is a hashtag day.
So, what should they hashtag? Wild Card Wednesday? Yes. And spell wild right. Our way. WYLD.
So
WYLD.
how
Wild
this
Card Wednesday
how this
hashtag.
will work is Gussie's going to shuffle the deck, and we're going to continue to talk for just a few more moments here, and then she'll do a group card reading. I might or might not interject my Grymm sense into it. We'll see how it goes. But after that, we'll do an opportunity for anybody that would like a one card draw for themselves to hashtag wild card
Wild Card Wednesday.
Wild Card Wednesday, hashtag Wild Card Wednesday, and we'll do a one card draw for you as well.
Always shuffle
But
my
don't start
cards.
the hashtagging yet, or it'll get lost in the shuffle, and
Oh, I
then we'll
bet you they
skip you.
will. They
Ah,
already
see,
are, babe. Just you can't say that
I
now.
know. I did. I thought
What
about it, and I went,
the heck,
"Oh,
dude?
too late."
Just let them do it. Just do it, do it, do it. Don't listen to this one.
Don't listen to me.
I didn't mean it like
I
that.
led them astray.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I
I
meant
always worry that I'm going to lead people astray, and see, I just did it.
you put your thinking in the wrong order.
Oh, that's what it was.
Right, right, right. Well, look at this little one calling right out to me. Okay, which one was it? I think it was this one. Calling right out to us.
Which deck is this?
Oh my goodness, y'all. We've had this card before. This is the Dark Mansion Tarot. Where did I put the little box? Oh, here it is.
Wild Stallions.
The Dark Tarot. The Dark Mansion Tarot. It came to me at a mystic fair. It was gifted to me, so I very much appreciate it. And the card for today, there's the back of the card. It's very pretty. I've been using these for Tarot Tuesdays lately. But it's this card, the Six of Swords. And take a peek there. You know, the last time we pulled this card, I remember um, I got some really clear information for Grimm that I shared with him after the reading was over, after we were finished here. And I always like it when I remember that a card has been within reasonable amount of time drawn. I know that I haven't been using this deck for very long, so um, it had to have been rather recently. But let's see where we stand
Before
now.
you do that, why don't you take a sip of tea?
Oh, do I need to do that?
Yeah, you sound a little.
Horse? me, 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 me. Is that better?
There we go.
Just
You got it back.
okay. Sorry, I wasn't even noticing that. Six of Swords. You know, clearly reading that there are a number of us that are not quite ready to come out into the sunshine just yet. There are a number of us out there, you, me included, maybe Grim, that have enjoyed this kind of quietude of the winter that we've just experienced. Even though there, at least for us, there wasn't as much snow and cold as we're accustomed to here in Michigan. Um, it was still a time, we just we just don't get out much. We don't do a lot. And as the weather gets warmer, we have more and more obligations to the outside of the building, and therefore interacting with more of the people and community. It's different in the spring and summer, isn't it? The energy shifts. It's livelier. It's more, I don't know, I guess in some ways welcoming, where, I mean, from an outside point of view. But there are those of us that find a real connection to ourselves during those colder months, those quieter months. And so I know you might be finding yourself right now not quite wanting to pull, excuse me, I must be having a difficult time saying this.
I could almost take over for you on that one.
Please do, because my voice is giving out.
The Six of Swords, as Gussie was saying, and carrying it through the idea that winter is that time of year when we go quiet and inward and reflect. A lot of us grow so accustomed to that solitude that we build almost a cage around ourselves. So that way we can perpetuate that isolation, that seclusion that winter brings. We're not quite ready to people yet. We're not quite ready to public yet. We're not quite ready to stretch our wings and grow yet. Because winter is that time of reflection and shadow work that says there's things that I need to do to put into motion, to put into action. There's things that I need to do to grow. And if we stay in the shadows, if we stay in the cage of our own making, we're not going to be able to spring.
Well, and if I may, I think a lot of us put, a lot of emphasis. Well, of course we do. It's yesterday was Ostara, right? It was the spring equinox. It is excuse me. It is time for new beginnings, new blossoms, new starts, and we want our life to blossom and bloom. We want it to start. We want it to have reset during the winter and come back fresh in the spring. But some of us aren't quite ready yet. We don't have our things ready yet. We haven't picked a date. We don't know what we're going to do. And there's so much to still consider. It's okay. The springtime's coming, whether you are welcoming it or not. But let this change be as fluid as flowing down the river has become. Allow it to just unfold in front of you and allow the knowledge. I talk to my higher self at night before I drift off to sleep. I do my meditation and I check in. And one of the things that I'm uh, honey,
Nothing.
well, no, what do you want to say?
Oh, I was just waiting for you to finish up
No,
because I had a little ad to.
I could hear you. What is it
Well,
that it caught me off
it
guard?
caught you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You were thinking loudly.
I was thinking very loudly because we talk a lot about shadow work and dealing with our issues and our traumas that we've grown up or grown into that we've allowed to manifest in our lives. That winter time our ancestors, going way back to the beginning of time, they worked in tandem with the seasons, and it wasn't so much for an emotional reason as it was for physical reasons. You needed to work in tandem with the seasons. It was part of
Yeah,
your
or you didn't
biological,
survive.
you didn't survive. It was part of your biological rhythm. You didn't think about it in means of the clock, you thought about it in means of daylight and temperature and wind and rain and snow and sun. We don't have that same connection today in modern life, but we still feel that same ancestral tug of the seasonal poles. So it's beneficial to us to work emotionally and spiritually and physically in all ways that we can with those seasons. So fight that resist or fight that desire to stay hidden inside because the winter's coming to an end and now it's time to go outside and bloom. Go with it. Go with it.
Even if you're not completely ready, step outside, especially during the spring, because y'all know what's going to happen once summer gets here. It's going to be flipping hot,
You know,
and
yeah,
you're going to not want to be
yeah.
outside a lot then.
We've got this beautiful old magnolia tree. When I say old, it's old for this property here. It's about 40 years old, give or take,
I think it was built in the planted in the
in the
60s.
60s. But it's a big, big magnolia tree now. It
She's beautiful.
towers almost as tall as the, the steeple of the church here, and it takes up the whole corner of the yard when it's in full greenery with the big, beautiful white flowers on it. Oh, it's gorgeous. That darn thing is so pretty. But boy, in the fall, that thing is nasty. The leaves that are turning black, the petals from all those flowers have shriveled up, the ground around it is just bleh, with this muck because the leaves just sort of turn to this pancake of nasty on the ground around it. But I noticed throughout the entirety of the winter, at the end of every branch had this tiny green bud, fuzzy and bright and shiny. Did you see those out there?
Mhm. Mhm.
All through the winter, no matter how cold it got, those things stayed right there. They didn't respond to nothing. They just stayed green and fuzzy.
I'm hoping you start taking pictures.
Oh, yes.
So, can we? Okay.
Over the last few days, those suckers have started to pop, and I can
Well,
see the future bloom.
get in the camera then.
I can see the future bloom that's coming. And
Mhm.
it hit me yesterday as I was out there cleaning up a little bit. That magnolia tree held on to its past. It shed all the crap, but kept a piece of its past to bloom into its next spring. But it needed this winter to manifest that.
Not bad. Not bad.
You
Nice
see how I
metaphor.
brought that all
Yes,
around?
I do. Yes, I do. I do. I do. But I need to do some hashtag reading here. And I
There
don't
you
know how
go.
long we've been on here. Let me look. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. We're doing pretty good. It's not even half an hour yet.
Wow.
We're doing damn
Well, I can
well.
drone on another 20, 30 minutes if you need me
Oh,
to.
so alrighty. So let's see here. I know that Susan had, I read it right away. So I believe this card here is actually for Ken. And I want to start off with that one. Um, so just bear with me for a minute. It popped out while I was shuffling, but I was curious if Ken is actually watching or you're just going to share with him later. But it doesn't really matter necessarily, but I know this card popped up for him. Wow. You know, the Six of Pentacles in the reverse position. I'm getting quite a lot of information here, so just bear with me. I'm trying to suss out what is important. it seems that there is some kind of a connection to financial stability and also charity. Somehow there is an out of sync, out of balance something in your life there. It's like it's been a very cold winter for a very long time. So when we talk about, coming out of winter into spring, I could, like looking at this card, I know that you are like, no, 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 let's just stay, in this sort of limbo state of winter because you've been there for a while. I think this is a metaphor also for a lot of the shadow work that you're still um, working through. I know that sometimes you have felt worthless and unworthy, and that you hate to ask for help when you need it. But because you don't like that whole aspect of charity. It's never been comfortable for you, and I completely understand that. So you turn things away and keep things isolated and cold. But I feel like this spring is going to be a turnaround opportunity for you as well. I can't quite see exactly, but I do see green, like green on the horizon. It's not just snow. Um, and I keep hearing something about an opportunity to hang your sign out, your shingle out, like something, a business you've always dreamed of starting, or something you've just forgotten how to dream. And I think allowing yourself to start dreaming again about things that can be possible, even though I know there are health challenges and there are, you know, some other issues going on. I mean, we a lot of us are struggling with a lot of different levels of that right now. So I don't want you to think you're alone at all. You're not. But I feel like it might be a hard push through, but I feel like this springtime could be pivotal for you.
The cocoon.
Yeah, it's not time to go
Crystals.
back in. It's time to hang your sign out and announce that you're here. It's time to take your claim and be who you're meant to be. Not leave this world kind of as an unspoken, unfinished story. Finish your own story. This is a wonderful time to be alive in spite of a lot of the stuff that's happening right now.
Is there a butterfly in there by chance?
I don't know. Here, take a look.
I don't know. My
Um, no, but you could say that those might be
oh,
butterflies.
okay.
But let me show you the card. I didn't show you the card.
I just got the distinct impression it's time to break free of the chrysalis mode.
Right, I get that too. I get that too. A lot of that has to do with letting go of some anger. You know, anger is no place to live. It's just such a draining emotion.
What is it? We heard a quote last night. It was something on the lines of nothing positive has ever come from anger, was the gist of it. I don't remember what we
Yeah, I don't remember either, but you're right. It was something similar to that. May you, please? Alrighty, let's see who else. Michelle Kleckler Caps says Wild Card Wednesday. Brandon says Wild Stallions. Funny, funny. Okay, this is for Michelle. Oh my gosh. So the card that we pulled for the group, Grymm did his part of the reading and he laid the card here. And I questioned whether or not I should pick it up and mix it back into the deck. And I thought, no, somebody needs to hear this card. And so I put it back into the shuffle. But really, there was a big old part of me that thought I wouldn't see that card again today. I really thought, out of this whole deck, I really thought the chances of me pulling that card again were fairly slim. But here we are. It comes out for Michelle Kleckler Caps, the Six of Swords card in the reverse position, pops back up I love that synchronicity. So what we were talking about, what Grim and I were just talking about, coming out of that winter, and essentially, you know what? Now that I think about it, that's what that's exactly what Ken's card was all about too. Coming out of winter, coming out of that space, even though it's safe, it's also cold, coming out into the green, into the light, into the life, coming back into existence. And Michelle, for you, I feel like uh, it's going to be important to you to work for you. Blah, blah. I think it's important for you to work with the element of water a little bit more and air a little bit more. Air and water a little bit more. Um, the next time there's a storm, go outside on that front porch and collect some wind. Just be a part of it, enjoy it. Not tornado level, of course, but you know spread your wings in those moments, because you are definitely reconnecting with a part of yourself that has been dormant for a very long time, but she's still always been there, and it's just a matter of time of feeling that reconnection. And I think you already have felt a touch of it from here and there, but it's almost like some of your past history in your life, you're it's almost like you're not allowing yourself to transcend that and become this like beautiful version of yourself. You're holding on, and I know that you're not doing it purposely, but then when you do, you have to ask yourself, and this goes for all of us, when we hold on to something that's unhealthy for us, why are we doing it? What are we getting out of it? We must be getting something. People don't like to acknowledge that. People don't like to, and I'm not saying you, Michelle, but I'm saying in general.
I also got, because that was in reverse too, right?
Right,
Um, I also got the sense that there's an opportunity for you to step into something that you've always wanted,
right.
a dream that you've always held close to your heart that you feared pushing through with to create. When this card came up reversed, my first thought was, if you don't start trying to put steps into motion to live that life that you've dreamed in your mind, your life's going to get flipped, turned upside down, and you're going to have no other choice but to do it anyway. So pursue that dream, pursue that. I don't know what it is, and this may not be applying to Michelle, but I just felt like it did when it came up reversed. There's step into your power, step into your desires, step into who you want to become. And even if you have this solid dream in your mind, it may, as soon as you start stepping into it, as soon as you start making those steps to make the dream come true, it may just change and shift and morph.
That's very true.
But don't let your world get flipped upside down before you decide it's time to live that magical
That's
life.
very good advice, Graham. That's very, very good advice. Don't flip your canoe. It's hard once that canoe flips over. It's hard to lift that sucker up, flip it
Get
back.
it right. Have you
All
ever
right.
done that?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I've dumped myself in the river more than I care to talk about. So let me also move on to Jane Husky. I pulled this card for you. It's also in the reverse position. It's the Three of Swords. Now, before I show you the picture, I want to tell you what I'm seeing. Right away, what I'm hearing right away is that this time of your life has to do more with learning to love yourself than ever before. You might have run across this little critter, self love in the past. You might have, dealt with, went to counseling, sought advice from friends, did some self therapy days, some spa days at home, whatever we've done to help ourselves along to get this far. But it feels like right now you have taken a real deep plunge into facing not only who you are on the outside, but who you are on the inside. And this is a really huge step. I know that I don't know actually if you're married or not married. I don't know your relationship status like that. And I don't know that I need to know, because what I'm seeing is that the shift in your own self-perception, the shift in the way that you love and perceive who you are is going to, you know, affect the love relationships that you're currently in. And if you're not in a romantic relationship and you might be feeling, well, either you're in a relationship and it's kind of grown, you know, I don't want to say stale or stagnant because that is a really harsh way to put it.
Mundane.
It's grown into complacency. Or if you're out of a relationship and you kind of feel like you won't find anybody, I just want to continue to encourage you to find you. Continue to look for who you are, and the rest of those pieces will fall into place. You're not meant to be, trapped away alone. You're meant to thrive and be loved.
You're about halfway there, it seems like,
Right.
right?
Now, the other thing that is important is to tell you to work with the color light blue. Sometimes get little bits of information like that. So for you, light blue. All right, next person is, oh, Susan. I need to pull a card for Susan. And I think that's it. That was it? Okay, one more then. Wow, I'm surprised. I'm not even saying you gotta pay me anything, y'all. Just say hashtag Wildcard Wednesday.
So
Jane,
you
oh, Jane's card was the Three of Swords. That usually means that there's going to be a good outcome, but it's usually an obstacle or two. Got to kind of go through the darkness before the dawn, kind of thing. But I think in Jane's case, it has more to do with coming to terms with loving Jane. Yeah. All right. This one for Susan. All right, Susan, your card is the Two of Cups. Oh, it's beautiful. It's also in the reversed position. You know, I know that when we talk about twin flames and soulmates and romantic relationships, I know that sometimes you feel like you're on the outside looking in. I know that that part of the root of your story is still, you're still discovering parts of it. You're still searching to see how deep that root goes, and discovering reasons that that root maybe started to grow, in a new direction or whatnot. And I'm referring to relationships with other people that cause us to not grow the way we were originally intended to grow necessarily, but grow in a new direction, which creates a whole new path unfolding before us. This concept today that we've been talking about coming out of winter and embracing the springtime, this Two of Cups card fits so beautifully within that, because it really has to do with balance. Nature seeks balance. And I think part of you has kept your heart so isolated for so long that when you are looking for that balance in relationship, that you're not really putting out there the beautiful vibe that you are. You're kind of keeping it way locked down. And I think in this card, it's telling me to encourage you to find that balance. You don't need to approach your friendships and romantic relationships from such a lockdown position. And I don't know what that means to you, but that's what I'm hearing. I'm seeing that that some of the things that you take inward are things that you don't own. They're not yours. And so finding your own balance and letting other people keep their own emotions, that's for them, not for you. You can listen and you can be empathetic and sympathetic with people, but you can't take on their sin and eat that too. That's a little nod to the sin eaters out there, but I'm not really talking like in the actual sense of the word sin eater. But but as empaths, a lot of times we do absorb the people around us. We absorb their energy. You know, when Grymm is having an off day, I'm often having an off day, and vice versa, until we define it together, and then we can step back and figure out, you know, where things started to go, you know, awry. But um, I know that you are very, very sensitive to things like that, things about other people that you care about and other critters that you care about. Um, so I would start asking your guides to help you see the difference so that you can start to see a little more clearly where your emotions start and someone else's finish. And I'm not being judgy. This is a step that all of us go through. This is a step that all of us go through. It is, you know, it's boundary making. And
Goes over here.
oh, did you want to read something off that one too? You did all the others.
I don't even remember what the card is, and I don't have my glasses
Oh,
on
it's the
now.
Two of Cups. No, I didn't show Susan what it looks like.
I just love this deck.
I know. I do too.
Is that a butterfly? Or is that a street light?
That looks like a little apple, and there's like lovebirds up in the
Is
tree.
it?
Yeah, that's an apple.
No, it's
Ha
stuck in
ha.
here.
Lovebirds. Lovebirds. Yep, yep. Look at that.
You know,
Beautiful growth.
I don't know if this is specifically for Susan. And before I go on, I want to say you've got a couple of new names here that I don't recognize, but you may.
Oh,
But I got to wait for this to disappear.
oh, and I see Cloudy said Wild Card
Yeah,
Wednesday.
you got another one up here, Bianca Iverson
Oh,
or
okay.
Iverson. Ives. I don't have my glasses on actually,
Iverson.
but okay. And then we've got another one over here,
Michelle.
Michelle. But anyways, that Two of Cups. Almost every time the Two of Cups card comes up, and I and it's unrelated to any of the readings that we do. It just I always get this visual of the energy cup scenario that you used to talk to our kids about.
Oh, yeah.
You've got two cups, each of them. I don't remember how the story goes. I just get the visualization of how
Well,
empty is my cup versus how
we
full
each
it
we
is.
each have a cup, and we have enough water to either fill a cup and have a little left over. Oh no, three cups. Remember, and you share the
Oh,
water back and forth. You can pour all of it in one and let it like flow over the edge, or you can share it with some of the other ones. But the whole idea is that you want to keep a supply of water in your cup, or you're going to be completely dry. And the whole thought is to share amongst the three cups, right?
yeah.
So, where were you headed with that
It's
one?
just when the when the Two of Cups card specifically comes up for me, I always get that vision in my head is my cup and your cups equal? Are we am I keeping things in balance? Am I over pouring? Am I under pouring? It just my own little
Okay, I'm with you.
nudge to that story you used to tell the kids.
I haven't thought about that story
I know.
in a
I
long
I never really
time.
think of the story. I just visualize the two cups. Are they equally filled,
Okay.
Bianca?
Yeah, and So, no, this is Michelle. I don't know where Bianca was.
Up here, one right there.
Okay, well, this was, move. This, this was for Michelle. Okay. The Nine of Cups card in the reverse. Boy, we have a lot of reverse today. Um, Nine of Cups in the reverse. Let me just kind of connect here. I don't see your name roll through very frequently, so just let me see. You know, it looks like there's a part of you that is kind of battling between like what you would kind of identify as how do I say this? You're drawn to a darker energy. You're drawn to more like gray or the gray area than you are the love and light scenario. And I feel like you are, I don't know, because I don't know you very well, so I'm having a difficult time here, and you do have good wards, so that's very good. Um, but there's something about like drinking a potion or taking a drink, or I don't know if you have a connection to the whole Alice in Wonderland story, if there's something about that that's a connection for you, but I'm seeing a connection to that, to like magic potion. Maybe there's something that you wish you could control better in your magic. Maybe it feels out of control right now or somehow unsettled, and you'd like to get things like more in a row. You'd like to understand more about what you innately know and what is coming to you when you're working magic, when you're meditating, things just innately come to you. And I know that you're seeking answers. Um, you're right to not wait for everything to be in a row before you start moving ahead with that. Don't wait until everything's perfectly aligned. You might not ever get started. Pick a day and move forward. Pick a person. I don't know what this is meaning to you, but I'm supposed to say pick a person you trust and move forward. Okay? Okay. All right. This one is for Bianca. And Bianca, I don't think I've ever read a card for you before. I don't know how familiar you are with the tarot, so I don't want you to get freaked out when I say which card it is because it usually throws people off. It's still I've been reading cards for decades, like since I was in my 20s. And I still when I pull Mr. Death, I always it's always one of those step back moments. You do. You take a step back because you know that the death card doesn't necessarily mean it's metaphorical death. It's not, actual death. It doesn't mean that
Dun
this is
dun
your yeah,
dun.
this is not your doom and gloom card. But it does mean that there's a shift to coming. There's a shift to coming. There's a change. And you can either sit on the sidelines and let that
I,
change.
I just heard step into your ascension.
That's wonderful, Grim, because you can either sit on the sidelines and let that river flow on by like you have in the past, or you can jump in the river this time and get in the flow of things. I think it's time. I think you've given yourself enough. Ooh, I don't know you well enough to say excuses. I don't want to offend you, but I'm going to say excuses. I think it's time to stop giving reasons why not,
So you've run out of reasons
and
not to.
start saying reasons why. Do you want to see the card? I've not seen that card
I
before.
might be able to. Let me get my glasses untangled from my beard here.
It's a good one. Okay, so Michelle, I hope that connected with you, Michelle, and you as well,
Oh,
Bianca.
and I don't. This is just for everybody on a whole. This is a gorgeous card. This death
It
card. I've
is.
got to show it off here. Whoop, I can't tell if I've got it in the
Oops, I'm
camera
sorry,
view.
Graham. I'm scrolled the
That's all
wrong
right.
thing.
It's just a fun card. I really enjoy it.
Okay, and last card. This one is for Clouded Up. No, that one is not for Cloudy. Oh, this was the wrong deck. This was the Cloudy. Okay, Cloudy, you've got two cards, and they are intense, and I love them both for you. One is dun, da, 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 the Queen of Swords, and the other is dun, da, 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 Queen of Cups. Both mighty powerful cards in their own right. Hard to show you the picture. But I think you find yourself right now at your own like personal crossroads. We were talking earlier today about coming out of winter and heading into spring, and it's kind of like for you it's a matter of which kind of which kind of creativity and connectivity do you want to reach out into the world with right now? Which way do you want to connect with everyone? You're being given an opportunity, and I don't know what exactly is coming your way necessarily, but it looks like a chance to not only be like a warrior, but also a mentor, someone who leads, but also, nurtures.
Is
So,
this Claudia's?
yes,
It's time to focus on which direction you want to direct your magic in your life and your balance.
both options are wonderful.
Yeah.
Both queens are strong in their own right. You just need to lean one way or the other. And you might say, well, why not balance both? Why not be a little bit of both? And I think you and I both know that when it comes to muggling in the mundane world, we do need to keep our focus on one or the other, or we do end up going a little bit, ungrounded, a little bit sideways. We find ourselves not knowing exactly which direction to go. So, this is a good time for focus. When you talk to your higher self, I'm literally saying, you called me queen earlier, but I'm saying refer to yourself and ask which queen to follow. Which queen are you meant to be? Ask your higher self to lead you in that direction because she already knows the answer.
You know, yesterday in Tarot Tuesday, I drew one of the cards that I drew was the Empress. And the way that I interpreted the Empress in relationship to yesterday's reading was an Empress is meant to lead not for the benefit of herself, but for the benefit of the community. But unfortunately, so many of us that as we step into that Empress power, we lead with our shadows, and that eventually tears apart community. The special place that you're in here, Claudia, with being able to pick which queen is going to be the dominant one that you express in your everyday life is going to be so beautifully molded by those very shadows that have turned you into that beautiful face, soul expression of magic that you already exist in and exhibit.
I keep going back to these cards, Claudia, because they remind me in so many ways of the little doll that you've made, that little red-haired, beautiful. She's a queen, is she not? I love her. You get a second, share her somewhere. I'd love to see her picture. Um, I have dreams of someday having a Gussy and Grymm doll when I can afford to commission
Yeah.
Claudia, Claudia, to make us Gussy and Gryms. I will. But anyways, I'll thank you so much for joining us. Uh, it was a wild card Wednesday. Um,
We kept it under an hour.
did we? Oh, good. We're still under an hour as long as we don't go on too long. 9 p.m. tonight, your time. Please take just a few minutes or however long you can devote to yourself in a moment of pause for peace. Remember that it is about centering yourself and letting go of the day's cares and worries and doing some deep healing breathing for yourself. And then sharing that vibrant, healthy, peaceful, harmonious energy outward, not just in your breath, but outward from your very core. Send it out in waves. And we're encircling the world with peaceful, loving energy. We don't care if people call that a little crazy. We know that energy is vibrational frequency, and vibrational frequency can heal. It can heal. So let's make some. 9 p.m. your time. Also, don't forget that on the 28th of this month, there is a Purple Door Witch Wave, and we are going to be doing a meditation and ritual for the members of the Purple Door. So head on over there, make sure that you find, I hope we have an event made. We might not have an event made, but we will.
I'll double check.
Yeah, Grimmer. So we got to do that. Got to do that. We have such a checklist.
Well, we've got so many events for the old church.
We do.
Gratuitous plug.
Right, right, right. Well, all in all, just look for ways to connect with us. If you'd like a reading, go to openthepurpledoor.com. If you'd like an astrology chart done, you can find one there as well. Reach out to me or Grim if you'd like a reader from someone else other than us. We do have other readers. They're just not listed online yet because it takes us like 3 times as long to do things as it should some days. But that's okay. We're busy folks. We're glad you're here with us. We love y'all so much. Thank you, Susan, for sharing those links when you do and helping me keep on task. I do
So what'd
appreciate
you
it.
think of Wild Card Wednesday?
I liked it. It was fun. We haven't done one of those hashtag things for a
We
while.
haven't, have we?
Nope. Nope.
Any parting thoughts before I hit the little red button?
Yeah, get on out there and promote the Purple Door easing, please, please, please. It keeps the lights on. It keeps the proverbial lights on and the door unlocked for the Purple Door. We could sure use your support. Um, we
Keeps it unlocked.
we sure could use your support. Anyways, y'all have a beautiful, blessed evening. Can't wait to see you on Friday at 4:20ish Tea and Tarot. Until then, stay magical.